Hey guys, today we're talking about what's new at Louis Vuitton, from new seasonal colors to the release of the Louis Vuitton beauty line at the end of August. We're also going to take a quick sneak peek at some new photos of the Catogram collection launching in September. However, if you are a seasoned subscriber, today's video is going to look and feel very different. I have been feeling a certain way about luxury fashion, particularly Louis Vuitton, for a while now, but I've recently had some clarity and I've decided that I'm going to be changing how I go about these new release videos and what my content will look like going forward. There's going to be some changes, so before we get into the new release videos, I wanted to have a quick chat with you guys about how I've been feeling, and I would love to know if you can relate to any of this, if you've had any of the same feelings lately. If you're not interested in this chat, I will have the new release information timestamped, so you can skip ahead to that part of the video if you want, but I hope you will stick around because I think a lot of you are probably going to be able to relate to how I'm feeling. I've been feeling very apathetic and just uninspired by what I've been seeing coming out from Louis Vuitton as well as other luxury brands and just what's going on in the whole luxury fashion space. But I couldn't really tell if it was just me, if I was stuck in a rut, or if I was going through a phase and I would get out of it quickly. But it's been going on for quite a while now. It used to be really exciting for me, and I really used to look forward to all the new collections, look forward to the shows. And lately, I just haven't been as much. And there's a few things at play, some external factors and some internal factors with me personally, starting with what's going on externally with fashion. And again, this is just mostly focusing on Louis Vuitton, but I think a lot of other brands, we can say the same. I am just feeling uninspired by a lot of the designs that are coming out. And that's not to say they're bad designs. It's not to say that they're ugly bags, because I don't think that at all. I think there's lovely colors and lovely designs coming out, but they're not inspiring to me. And that's, I think, the real key difference. I've been covering these new releases for a few years now, and I am starting to feel like I'm just seeing these same bags over and over and over again. There's always the same bags in new seasonal colors, which is perfectly fine. I think new seasonal colors are great to have a choice of. Sometimes we like a particular bag, but we don't like the colors it's currently available in. So new seasonal colors is always a great way to bring in new customers. But from my point of view, when it comes to covering new releases, talking about the same exact bags every month after month, just in new colors, isn't really exciting after a while. Going forward, I will mention the new colors coming out, but I won't be going in depth about every single piece in the collection. It'll be more of an overview. This is the color. These are the pieces coming out. And I'll probably pretty much leave it at that. The other thing that I find uninspiring is a lot of the new releases aren't really new. They're just vintage designs that have been slightly tweaked, given a new name, a much higher price point, and they're being put out as something new. Just in the past month, we've seen the re-release of the Artsy, which is now called the Again bag. We've seen the re-release of the Eva clutch, still going by the same name. We've also just seen the re-release of the City bag, which is now being called the Hang On. I thought this was interesting because the City bag was re-released 2 or 3 years ago. Now it's being re-released again. I really don't understand why they keep re-releasing the same bags every few years. There are some new bags like the Express that just released in the fall winter collection. I talked about that bag at length in a video, I think 2 weeks ago. And it's a very nice bag, but again, it's nothing super exciting. It's basically a mashup of a keepall, a speedy, and a papillon. It's a pretty standard bag silhouette. They've just tweaked it with different straps and different leathers that it's available in. So again, I'm not saying these are ugly bags. They're not awful designs. They're perfectly fine. They're just not very exciting to me at the moment. I also need to take a minute to talk about Pharrell and what he's doing in the menswear collections. Even though I don't talk about menswear very often on my channel, I do talk about it on occasion, and it is part of what's going on at Louis Vuitton, so I do need to talk about it. Pharrell has been the menswear designer for a little over 2 years now, and the most significant contribution he's given us in terms of leather goods is the Speedy P9. Yes, the Speedy P9 is a fantastic bag, but most of what Pharrell has given us in terms of leather goods is 1,000,001 Speedies. If I see another Speedy on a runway in the men's collection, I'm going to scream. It is just Speedy after Speedy after Speedy, and my man, there are other silhouettes out there for bags. Most of the men's leather goods consist of some variation of the Speedy, old archival designs that they're now bringing back. So these are not new Pharrell designs. They are archival bag styles, bag silhouettes, and weird animal-shaped bags. We have so many animal-shaped bags. It's ridiculous. We could open up a zoo. So I'm really not impressed with what Pharrell has been doing. In terms of leather goods at Louis Vuitton, he made a big splash when he started, but since then, he's just been doing the same thing for 2 years now. I really haven't seen a lot of evolution in terms of what he's been designing. I might get a lot of hate for this portion of the video. I do know that a lot of people are diehard Pharrell fans, but in terms of leather goods, I'm really not impressed. I hate to say it, but I'm not. And even though menswear consists of much more than just leather goods, it is a significant portion of what they are designing and what they are putting out in terms of menswear. I think the men's runway shows actually feature more bags at this point than the women's runway shows. So it is very significant in terms of what they are putting out in menswear. And again, it has not been very inspiring to me. The other thing I find very frustrating with new releases at Louis Vuitton is that there are just too many releases. It is impossible to keep up, and it really takes the joy out of all these new releases. It's too much product. It is overwhelming, and the pace of releases is just so quick. We are getting drops every 2 to 3 weeks. We are getting multiple collections being released on the same day between men's and women's, and there's just no build-up. We don't have any time to build up the excitement and the anticipation for each new release because they're coming at such a quick pace. And by the time one collection is released, 2 weeks later, it's old news because Louis Vuitton's releasing even more new products. So I find that to be really frustrating from a content creator standpoint. And as a consumer, as a client of the brand, I just really haven't been excited for too many things because it's just too overwhelming. There's too many choices. There's too many products. A lot of people, myself included, have described this fast pace of releases as making luxury feel like fast fashion. I didn't think that was a quite accurate way to describe it because there's a lot more to fast fashion than just the pace of it. It's also a lot to do with the quality and how the pieces are manufactured, but it was the best way I could think to describe it up until a few weeks ago. I saw an infographic on the Instagram page for Business of Fashion, and this infographic is how dopamine culture rewired the fashion industry. And I'm not going to go in depth about dopamine culture, but it's basically about how everything is so fast paced now, how we're scrolling our feeds and we want this instant gratification, this dopamine hit. And I thought this was interesting how Business of Fashion describes how this dopamine culture has impacted designer and luxury fashion, or just the fashion industry as a whole. They describe collections as going from seasonal collections, right? We would get usually about 2 seasons a year, fall, winter, spring, summer. Then they advanced to capsule collections, and now this constant flow of drops. Same with shows. Runway shows actually started out as trade events. They were for fashion insiders, I believe mostly buyers who would see the new fashions of the season and see what pieces they wanted to purchase. Then they advanced to media moments and now viral moments, which I think was perfectly encapsulated at the Louis Vuitton men's spring summer runway show, which was just a few weeks ago. At the end of the show, Pharrell walked down the runway and walked up to Beyonce and gifted her a Nano Speedy from the show straight off the runway. That was a viral moment, and that was exactly why Louis Vuitton hired Pharrell to be their menswear designer, in my own personal opinion. So anyway, this is really why I'm having this uneasy feeling with fashion at the moment. It's just that we've gotten so entrenched in this dopamine culture and things have gotten so fast paced. I feel like it's really the antithesis of what luxury fashion would be and what people kind of want from luxury fashion, right? We want things to be slower and more thought out. But anyway, maybe I'm just old. Those are my thoughts on the situation. I would love to know what you think. That being said, how that's impacting my content is I just can't keep up. I feel the need as a perfectionist and a Virgo to constantly stay on top of things because I know a lot of people watch my content for the new releases. I often get a lot of feedback from people that you guys like how I cover new releases. I do go very in depth on a lot of things. And unfortunately, with the pace of all these releases, I just can't keep up with it anymore. I would love more time to talk about luxury shopping in general, some advice about shopping, handbag reviews, and comparisons. I have a whole list of those topics, but they're constantly getting pushed off because I'm always talking about what's new, what's coming out. So I'm definitely going to be cutting back on videos about what's coming out, and I will be more selective on what I cover so I can make room to talk about other things. Hopefully I can do some more vlogs, more comparisons, more advice type videos. So I hope you guys all enjoy the new content I will be coming out within the future. And whatever you do like, I hope you will comment and let me know what you think of things going forward. All of that said, let's dive into what's coming out in August. This is going to be a very top line overview. This month, towards the end of the month, on August 29th, we will be getting some new seasonal colors in both epi leather and empreinte leather. In epi leather, we're getting 2 new colors, red and khaki green. In addition to the travel pieces like this Keepall 45 seen here, these colors should include a selection of women's bags. However, the only one I've personally seen myself is this Alma BB in red epi leather. If you're interested in these colors, definitely check on the website or with your client advisor towards the end of this month for the full collection. In both red and khaki epi leather, we will be getting the Horizon 55 suitcase, the Keepall, and the cosmetic pouch. I will be putting all the USD prices on screen. Unfortunately, I don't have item IDs or prices in other currencies. For new colors in Empreinte leather, we are getting 3 new colors for the fall. We are getting red, Grenat, which is garnet in French, as well as smoke, which is very similar to khaki. It's like a grayish green color. Let's start out with red. We've had red Empreinte leather many times in the past. I've seen a couple pieces confirmed in this colorway. This is not a complete list, but we will be getting the Felici, which is very interesting because I happen to own a red Felici. This is in the color Scarlet. I purchased this in 2021. At the time, the Felici was priced at $1,420. It is now $1,700. So very interesting. We are getting a new, air quotes, a new Felici in red because this exact bag has been released in the past. So here we go. Also in red, we will be getting a few SLGs, including the Rosalie coin purse and the Romy card holder. I'm sure there will be other bags in this color. I don't know all the pieces yet. The other color we're getting is garnet. And this is very similar, in my opinion, to the wine Empreinte leather, which was released, I believe, in 2023, if I remember correctly. This is the Speedy 25 I have in that color. Garnet has not been released yet, so I can't do a side-by-side comparison, but based on the photos, it looks to be very similar to the wine Empreinte leather. So if you missed this collection last time, garnet coming out at the end of August will be your second chance at this color. In garnet, we will be getting the mini bum bag and the Rosie wallet on chain, the Clemence long wallet, and also the Rosalie coin purse and the Romy card holder, which we saw earlier in red. Additional bags in this colorway include the Speedy Bandolier 20. As far as I am aware, only the 20 size for the Speedy, the Pochette Matisse, Neverfull MM, and the Boulogne PM. I also want to point out that some of the bags, like the Neverfull and the Speedy, include the giant monogram print. The Boulogne features the regular size monogram print. Again, this is not a complete list of everything coming out in garnet, but this is to let you know that the color will be coming out at the end of the month. The third color in Empreinte leather is called Smoke. We saw Smoke earlier this month on the Express as part of the women's fall winter collection. This is not Empreinte leather. This is a plain calfskin, but this is the same color of Smoke that will be coming in Empreinte leather at the end of August. Bags that will be coming in Smoke Empreinte leather include the all-in GM, On The Go MM, Pochette Matisse, Diane, and the Pochette Live. Again, some of these pieces, like the On The Go, are in the giant monogram print. Other ones, like the Pochette Live, are in the classic monogram print. As I get more information on all the bags, I will be updating this list on my YouTube community page, so make sure you're subscribed. Moving on to the next release at the end of August, we are finally getting the Louis Vuitton beauty line. This has been confirmed to release on August 25th. It will include 55 lipstick shades because LV in Roman numerals is 55. We will also be getting 10 lip balms as well as 8 eyeshadow quads. I do not have any confirmed pricing yet, but I have heard, allegedly, that we can expect these pieces to be priced higher than other luxury brands already on the market. The lipstick is rumored to be priced at $110 US. I do not have prices on the other pieces yet. You can go on their website and sign up for alerts to get notified on updates regarding the beauty line. I will have a link to that in the video description box below. Finally, I want to give a very quick update on the Catogram collection. I published a video on this collection a few weeks ago, and since then we've gotten a lot more photos. I'm very happy to report that there's more cats on this collection than we initially anticipated, so this is a very good update. I'm going to include all of the high definition photos that have been released so far. A lot of these are from an online publication. I believe it's called Runway Magazine. It's a Russian website. So I'll link to that article again in the video description box if you want to read the article that accompanied these photographs. There's going to be a lot more in this collection that we have not seen yet. There's going to be a lot of ready to wear. There's going to be more bags, accessories than what we see here. I'm just showing you what we have HD photos of so far. For small leather goods, we have a simple card holder as well as a cat card holder, the Charlotte pencil pouch, phone holder. We're also getting 2 coin purses, a round coin purse and a cat coin purse. All of these are illustrations done by Grace Coddington herself. For desk accessories, we have an agenda cover as well as a mark folder. I thought these were very interesting inclusions in the collection. For bags, here we have the Ivy wallet on chain, the Never Full inside out, as well as 2 versions of the Carry It tote. Travel pieces will include the Horizon suitcase and a Nice vanity. I also want to add, I don't have any confirmed prices for these pieces yet. The high-end bags will include a Petite Malle as well as a Capucine. The Capucine features the exact design that we saw on the original collection, so I love that they included this Capucine as an homage to the original release in 2018. Gifting items will include a Petula cat statue. I love this. I think it's one of the best pieces in this collection. Those are all the pieces we have pictures of so far. As I said, there's going to be a lot more coming out in this collection, so stay tuned for further updates. I would love to know what you think of how I covered those new releases. It's a very, very broad overview. Did you like that, or was it not very helpful? I'd also love to know if you're feeling the same way about luxury fashion right now as I am. In the meantime, I'll leave another video up here for you to watch next. I'll see you in the next one.